Okay, so welcome to Wines of Italy podcast now instead of live stream. And my guest today is Giovanna Trisorio, which is the marketing manager, if I'm correct, of
Yes.
Cincinnato Winery in Lazio. And
Hello.
I remember that I visited just a month before the pandemic in
Oh, yes, I
2020.
remember.
And it was I think it was one of the last winery visits I had before everything closed down. So, do you want to welcome Giovanna? Do you want to present yourself?
Okay. Hello, Katerina. And yes, it's a pleasure to be at your podcast and to have the opportunity to talk with you again. So this is the third time because yeah, we met before the pandemic. I forgot about that. Yes, but it was January, I think, when you came.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the second time was yeah with the income that we have organized with Donne del Vino del Lazio, and today. So thank you.
You're welcome. So, I mean, what is your background and what do you do at Cincinnato? For those who doesn't know, Cincinnato is one of the cooperatives in Core, you know?
Mhm. I'm an agronomist. I study in Viterbo, La Tuscia, and just after the university, I, I work in for the Unione Nazionale di Cooperative Italiane (UNCI) as assistant for projects, and so that's why how I became confident, let's say, with wines, and I was supporting the cooperatives in wine business, olive oil, and vegetables. So in those three different sector, and so I fell in love with actually wine and olive and olive oil. Uh,
Okay.
and so I just after how many was 3 years or 4 years, I started to work in the wine business for a winery in Lazio, where I worked for 12 years. And now it's again 12 years that I'm working for Cincinnato as a marketing manager, and so national and international. So I'm taking care about all our clients, and it's really challenging and really nice. It's really nice job, and also the company is really dynamic, and we
Yeah, so
do.
tell us a bit about Cincinnato. I mean, as I said, it's a cooperative, but I'm sure you can tell more the story about the vine growers of Crori.
Yeah, Cincinnato is a, as you said, is a cooperative that was founded in 1947. So there was a very difficult moment for all of Europe, I would say. And so just after the Second World War, and so it's quite old winery in Lazio, and since where we were born, we work on two native grape, Bellone and Nero Buono.
Mm.
So that was always our. They were always our focus. It was very unusual at the time because, especially in the 80s, where when all the national, international variety were very popular, was like very crazy, very crazy idea to keep growing those two varieties.
But you were basically one of the first that focused on Nero Buono and Bellone, or were you a group of wineries that work together to?
Actually, no, we were the only wine
Mhm.
producer at that time of those two grapes. No, those for sure Nero Buono, because Nero Buono is,
Mm.
as the name of the variety says, Nero Buono di Cori is originally from our town. Bellone, of
Yeah,
course, was it is much older. Was described by Pliny the Elder in his books. Was cultivated in all the south part of Lazio, I would say. So for Nero Buono, definitely we are the oldest. At the moment, the producer are growing it, and we are really happy. So we have founded we create, let's say, the DOC Cori,
ah,
Bellone,
okay.
and Nero Buono. So at the moment, we have also the DOC
Mm.
with the other five producer. So, and there are
Okay.
also other that are starting to produce. So it's um, uh, yeah, it's an interest that is growing, and we are really happy about that. So
Yeah, because it's
our
very particular grapes, no? They're very kind of, as you said, they're very connected to the to the Corey area.
Yes, and the history, because we, especially, yeah, with our association or with other producers, we talk about always wine like um, heritage, like
Yeah,
culture. Uh, it's not just it's not alcohol. It's a culture, and it's part of our, say, history and heritage. So it's important to underline for us this connection and this
but
function
you're
of the wine.
also yeah. You're also all. I think you said you're the all the vine growers are organic by now, because that was also.
Not not all of them, but half of them.
Okay,
So half of them are organic. So we do have 100 other hectares of organic production.
but that's something that you kind of encourage that they should go organic or.
Of course, the market is going is always more demanding, and we need to yeah. I mean, when I talk about we, I talk about all the wine producer. We have to move definitely to the organic production
Yeah.
shortly, definitely. Not just wine. I mean, we have to do everything, all what we can in all
Yeah.
the not just agriculture. So it's really important. Uh, yeah, we have to take care about the uh, the I'm sorry, paesaggio, the
Yeah,
landscape,
the landscape, the landscape.
not just with the
What is
cultivation,
particular
but
about, yeah. So if you talk about Cori, what is particular? Because it's very linked to the Roman history, no? The Cori, the
yes,
city.
it's a really an old city with the ruins of Roman temples, and one of the most important is the Tempio di Ercole, that is also a national
Yeah,
monument. So, and there are columns of Tempio di Castro e Polluce, and for sure there are other temples that they haven't discovered yet, but they have found some, let's say, um, peace, or they believe that there are other temples under the monuments
yeah.
in the houses in Kori. So they still have found all of them. Yeah, this
Okay.
Kori has the structure of Acropolis, so by step you
Yeah,
can
I
still
remember
the
that.
wall, the big wall. So it's really an old history city, and with a lot of also monuments. The La Minerva that you find in Piazza del Campidoglio is from Cori, and also
Yeah,
some coins that that there are in the monument in the museum Palazzo Massimo are from Cori. So it's really um, interesting city from history point
So
of
how
view.
do you link that to the wine? Because I know that it's a big part of the storytelling about your wines. Know that you're also very close to the local.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot of connection because, as you know, we grow Bellone, and that is, as I said, it's a Roman grape, and we have planted the small vineyard of Bellone in the Colosseum Park.
Ah,
So that
okay.
is one
That's cool.
really, really interesting projects that we have create with the Parco del Colosseo. So actually, we are the technical sponsor of these projects, and it was
Okay.
really, really nice to work with amazing women, Gabriella Strano, that is the architect of the Parco del Colosseo, and also
Jealous, yeah.
the director of the Parco. Um, they are both of them women, and they want, yeah. So we started this project that is really, really nice. And we have planted the vineyard in an area that is called Vigna Barberini. So where the Barberini used to have the vigna, so the vineyards, but also the vegetables. In that time, vigna was used for all the agricultural production. So
Okay.
it's really
Oh, that's
interesting.
nice. So if we look then on on Cincinnato, because I mean you were the first that grew Bellone and Nero Buono. So how do you think that what part is the Cincinnato cooperative playing in the development of the wine scene in Lazio? Because Lazio is moving forward quite quickly now. I mean, it had been a bit in the shadow with mostly, as you said, the international
Yeah.
grapes and more in perhaps high volume winemaking. But now there's a lot of activities going on, smaller vintners, and also to more try and do the low intervention winemaking and the local grapes. So how is Cincinnato? What part do you play in this development of Lazio?
Yeah, of course, we are one, as I said, one of the historical winery, but in the same time, we still do always something new. So, yeah, and we like to create group to work with other wineries and to promote the the vineyards, the wine, Lazio wines, definitely. Um, so we try to create connection, let's say network, network, and also
Right.
Latina. The province of Latina is very dynamic. There are so many other wineries that are working on other native grape, like Abuoto, sorry, and yeah, there are some other like that are working on this very small
Yeah.
and unknown variety. So uh, we like the idea to be part of all of this.
But this is also, if we go over to the women in wine or Le Donne del Vino, no, it's also part of a growing network and
Yeah,
connection, no? So if
yeah.
we move over from Cincinnato to also your part, because you're also part in the Donne del Vino de Lazio. So I don't know, do you want to talk a bit about your role there and how you have kind of in the last few years, well, especially this year, last year, no, you have kind of
Oh
worked.
yes, in the last few years, we started actually with a lockdown um, to work a lot together, and thanks to also Manuela Zennaro,
Yeah,
that is the delegata del Lazio. So we started with some, let's say, joint venture with other region. Uh, so during then the COVID was just online talking and comparing with other the region of Lazio. So and that was the beginning, and so we have done press tour, national with the journalists, national and international journalists, and also now we are going ahead and we're planning um, to do conference and talk about environment. As we said, it's for us, it's very
Yeah.
important that we have to um, we want to say I would say to work on the knowledge and the of this, and also so we're working in let's say in two directions, future and past, because we like to work and to talk about environment and in the same time to talk about women that has done the history of the wine, but
Fine.
not just
Mm.
that. Yeah, and it's also yeah important to talk about the some of them that have
Yeah. So
um,
I was part of this press tour in October. I think it was the international people now, the
yeah.
international press. And it was interesting that you had divided it in three groups, which I think was very good because sometimes the press tours try to do everything in 2 or 3 days. So
Was too
it was
much
nice to
to
choose one area. So what are the impressions? I mean, have you already seen any results, or what do you think was
oh
the
yes,
main
for us
takeaway?
was yeah was really lovely. We what we the feedback that we had from all of you is that was really nice. The match with the historical sites or natural sites, like we did in for our group. We went to visit Ninfa, so that was something that the people loved, or the journalists loved, or Anagni, the cathedrale.
Mm,
So was really nice to combine history, as I said again, culture,
yeah,
history, and wine. That's was the first feedback that we had, and also that was nice to discover an area that is not really known as you said, like Lazio. And discovered some just in our group there was one producer of Reale that was it's really a small production, so was interesting for the journalists to
yeah,
discover not just Nero Buono and but also Reale or Cesanese, that is definitely the most important variety that we have in Lazio. So it was nice and um, was funny, I would say, to work and find all the place to visit, and also the restaurant where to go. Because, the idea was to also to show the food, the wine and food pairing. So
yeah.
that's another
Yeah, that was
important
very nice.
part.
Both in Rome and in Cesanese, where I was. I can't
Mm.
remember the name of the restaurant in the Cesanese, but it was also an experience.
I think you went
Um,
to visit Salvatore Tassa, isn't it?
yes, yes,
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
No, I can. I think it seemed like he created every dish kind of in the moment for the the different wines. And it was very interesting.
Yes, was
And
nice. Was nice.
yeah, and I think I also liked the kind of seminar you had or masterclass you call it nowadays. Um, I think it was a good way to also show the volcanic side of Lazio, and that basically there is volcanic remains more or less everywhere, even if a bit less so in Cesanese, I think. But I think that
Mhm.
was also an interesting approach to see how both for white wines and red wines. I think he got a bit too much into the technical tasting of the wine, but I think it would have been became a bit too long. But it was very interesting, the more historical and the kind of climate and soil part, which there was a lot of things I didn't know. and I think that was really good. So yeah, I think it was a really good combination of winery visits, culture, and then also
And
the
yeah,
taste.
there's massive plus because we are we are 22 producer. So to introduce all of you to 22 different producers in 2 days was quite challenging, I would say. So that's
Yeah,
the master class where a good opportunity to show you
yeah,
also the other producer where the group didn't the group didn't visit. So was was nice also, yeah, for us to see the similarity and the difference between all of us in talking about wines
mm.
and the bar. Yeah.
So from the producer side, I mean, you who are like the women in the association, I mean, have you seen a difference in how you present your wineries when it comes to the female part? I mean, I'm not saying, that like, like some say like women like rosé because it's a female wine, but I'm thinking more about the approach, how you present each of your wineries. Have you seen any difference or haven't had any feedback about that?
No, I would say that yeah, there is a difference in each wineries. Beside the fact that there is a women or man,
Mm,
that's yeah. Each wineries has its philosophy and approach. So that is the difference, I would say. And
okay.
for sure, we work together with like Nazareno or Fabio Piccolini, that is a winemaker. So it's a group, and it's important that there are women, and but it's also important that we
Yeah,
work
that's right.
together all
Yeah.
together with other um, say yeah, person and staff, yeah, to
No,
find a
that's
way
true.
to work.
That's true.
Mhm.
Um, and how do you see that? How do you see we talked about a lot about the past. So how do you see the future of Lazio and wine, and how do you
I'm
see the
so
global view?
quite positive. I mean, for sure, talking about wines, I think that the market is going through the less consumption, less alcohol for sure. We saw more fresh wine. That definitely is the wine that I love at the moment. So that's why we started to produce also frizzante on surly. So that's it's with no not very high in alcohol. So it's the wine that's the kind of wine that I'm drinking at the moment. And but it's also all the market is going through this direction. So less wine, less alcohol. So
Yeah.
for sure. But talking about Lazio, I'm quite positive because this year, in the 2023, that is almost over, I had the opportunity to travel a lot, and was a really a nice surprise to see that there are so many people that were interested in Lazio, and they knew Cesanese. Definitely is the most known wine from Lazio. So,
Mm.
and it was a surprise because there wasn't like that 2 years ago. So that means that we have done a huge, um, a good job in
Yeah.
a short time.
No, that's true.
There were so
So
many people and asking, "Oh, what do you have?" And they were curious about Bellone, the sparkling wine with the Bellone. So there was huge interest in Cesanese and sparkling wine in Bellone, definitely. But that was my small experience this year.
yes.
Mm-mm.
So I mean
How
the
about you?
reward the rewards, of course, are that people are starting to know more about Lazio and also to appreciate the Cesanese, which I agree not many knew about Cesanese just a few years ago.
that?
And but what do you see are the big challenges to kind of take it to another level? I mean, because still, I mean, Lazio is getting more and more known, but what do you see as the big challenges going ahead?
Yeah, no, the big challenge is to keep to keep working and promoting the wine and showing the wine. I'm sure that we, yeah, the challenge is never give up, never give up.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Because
it's been work.
another thing, some of them told me that there's this, which you also told me before the pandemic, that there's this disconnection sometimes between Rome and the rest of Lazio. You know that a lot of people come
That's
to Rome, but they don't get much further, or also to have, because I have heard that the wine scene in Rome is getting better and better, with a lot of, like also in Florence, with a lot of more dynamic wine shops and wine bars. But how easy is it for you to promote your wines in Rome and for smaller producers in Rome?
definitely Rome. I think that Rome has to be our like oh my god, stage. Definitely, we have to. Rome has to be our um, yeah, our shop. Let's say our. We have to work on that. The restaurants and the wine shop. Yeah, as you said, Rome is improving a lot um, with the wine and also with the food.
Mm.
Uh, it's still still a big job to do. It's difficult because Rome is a very touristic city,
Yeah.
so that's the good part and the bad part of our city. So it's improving, it's changing, and we have to work on that. So create
Mm.
a better connection between all the restaurant and the wine shop with yeah to
Yeah,
have the
that's
opportunity
good.
to show our wines in Rome is the biggest challenge. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, we have to start from that.
So if somebody wants to visit you in Cori, what do they? Of course, they contact you, but how easy is it to get from Rome to Cori for a wine visit?
Like unfortunately, I will say there is no train. It's a big. I say it's disappointing me a lot because I would love to. Um, yeah, to say that it's really easy to reach by train, but unfortunately not. It's you can reach us by car from the highway Roma Napoli. So there is an
Mm.
exit at Montone. So from the exit is not far away, or from La Via Pontina or Via de Laghi. That is also really, really nice. So you come from Rome, you visit Castel Gandolfo and the Lake of Nemi, and then you come to Cori. So it's almost 1 hour from Rome by car.
Yeah,
And we do have the agriturismo with where you can stay.
yeah, it's very
Uh,
nice.
and now we have also the swimming pool that there
Ah,
wasn't when you came
okay.
to visit us. There is a lovely swimming pool, so just um, I, so from the pool you see all the vineyard all around. It's really really nice. So and amazing chef. Um, there is Alessio, that is our, let's say, new chef. It's working with us. I think now it's 2 years or 3 years that he's working with us. And he is amazing and really a nice touch. So
Mm.
you can have lunch and dinner, but just during the weekend. So
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
No, I remember it's very interesting, very beautiful place. Also with the view of
the
the
little
city of
town. That is like a presepe. You have to come now during Christmas with only
Yeah,
the
that would be
lights.
cool.
So from one side there is the Cori, and from the other side there is the vineyard with the pool. So it's quite
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay, so
mean,
we can all go back to Cori.
yeah,
Because
and
there are
from that,
several wineries. I remember there are several wineries in the area that are very interesting. No? So
definitely. So you can spend few days visiting other wineries, and also Ninfa Garden. There is Abbazia di Fossanova that is really beautiful. So, and it's just 20 minutes from us. So it's a nice place to spend a few days. Yeah, not just room, but it's
okay,
really beautiful.
so yeah, thank you, Giovanna. Do you have anything you want to
Thank
add
you.
that you think is important to know about
No, it's a
Cori?
pleasure, and I hope to see you again for another press tour, maybe with other masterclass.
Hopefully, yes, that would be
Would
cool.
mean that we are growing and we are keeping going.
Exactly. So thanks again,
Grazie.
Giovanna, and I hope to see you soon. And
Merry
for those of
Christmas.
you who are for those of you who are listening, this podcast will be up in January or February. So look out for it. And thanks again, Giovanna.
Grazie, grazie a te Caterina.
Ciao.
Baci, ciao.